Lad, you ain't parked that bus off yet, nah?
You man are liberties. Taking liberties. I'm gonna be nice to SAEED today. I'm gonna be nice.
Yeah, you know what, Matisse? I'm feeling
nice.
I'm feeling that love, you know that. I'm feeling that love as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be nice to SAEED.
No, you're right. You're right too, because
he's been an enabler for the last 2 weeks. Is at the wheel. Tell me how good does it feel? We've got Bruno, Fred.
So listen, I didn't know that was coming, but I hope everyone is well in the chat. I see people here already, nearly 500 of you. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the official channel. It's in the pinned message. And yeah, you know where we're starting. To be honest, we got a super chat in before we even went live, and someone's got something to say to SAEED. There's no system from Ole at United. Also, SAEED mocks Tuchel as German Van Gaal for having a system. Make up your mind. What do you actually want? Any comments on that, SAEED, before we get going on?
You have to differentiate what's banter and what's, you know what I mean? I was already bantering. Everyone knows it's banter, but yeah.
Fair enough. Right, no, the energy's SAEED.
Yo, man, I don't know, man. I'm in Marvin's room right now. I told you, man, 2 weeks of Marvin's room, innit? You know what I mean?
Why Marvin's room, bro? You're second in the league, bro. You're still in the Europa League. Why Marvin's room, bro?
Nah, man, we're done out here, mate. Done out here.
Why is it done out here? You're second, bro. You're Man United.
Second by 1 point, innit? Leicester still 1 point behind us.
So you can't compete.
Listen, Toby, man. You know what I mean? I don't know where you're coming from tonight. Yeah, we're not here for you, mate. We're not here for you.
No. You're gonna hear it.
Stick on your lane, man.
You're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it because when them are trying to tell you what's wrong about their manager, you're not having it. And now all of a sudden you want to complain when you're second spot.
I've been suffering for 2 years, mate. You just come down on your horse. You know what I mean?
No. Listen,
I've been suffering for 2 years, man.
Don't blame me that your manager can't get past the semi. Like, I don't know how he gets it cracking at home, but it's clear to see he can't get past the semi, and it's impacting you, bro. So yeah.
Listen, man. You know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Fuck all you.
Spod me, G. Spod me.
Nah. Fuck that, man. Yo, listen.
Nah.
Good. That's what you get because you've been enabling Mourinho.
What do you mean that's what you get,
for the
man?
last 2-3 weeks, and this is what you get.
What do you mean that's what you get, man?
You brought this on yourself. Good.
No, I never brought nothing on myself.
No,
mate,
you did.
That's because you want a bit of sympathy and that, you know what I mean?
I don't want any sympathy. Yeah. I want to get on you today, bro.
Listen, yeah. It is what it is. We're out. I want this manager gone. You get me? Fuck Ollie. You get me? I don't give a shit anymore, man. It's getting personal right now. You get me? To the point where now, for me, like, I respect him as a legend, but it's starting to piss me off now. You get me? Because right now, he's a puppet to the Glazers. You get me? He's got Darren Fletcher. He's got Pallies around him. And for me, yeah, this club, you get me? Like, we're supposed to be winning trophies, man. We should be winning trophies. And yesterday, yeah, we got out tactic, yeah, by a manager called Brendan Rodgers. For me, respect to him.
No. Yeah. I was gonna say, don't.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No. I'm putting respect on Brendan Rodgers. For me,
can I ask a question?
I would gladly take him at Old Trafford, mate. I tell you that, man.
Did you get all of that, Matisse?
Yeah, I'm just taking minutes. I'm gonna behave myself today because I got a lot of slander last week for, I don't know, maybe I'm too harsh on United. So I'm gonna be nice. I'm just gonna be a nice guy. I have a question though. You see with Ollie, you see when he's smiling.
He's going on like he's in a press conference.
You know when he's smiling. You know when he's smiling
man.
After the defeat, he's smiling in the interview. How does that make you feel, SAEED? How does that make you feel?
Nah, man. Them words can't come out on this podcast. You feel me? So yeah, I'll keep it to myself. I'll keep it to myself on that one. I'm just done with the whole process, mate. I want this guy gone, mate. ASAP, man. You know what I mean? I want him gone, man. He's nowhere near good enough to be managing Man United, mate. Shocking. No style, no system, whatever you call it, mate. This guy, if there's no plan A, mate, there's no plan B. You know what I mean? 4 substitutions like it's career mode. You know what I mean? Like, it's for me, this manager has no clue what he's doing, mate. He's absolutely no clue what he's doing. But then again, man, he's living his best life, innit, man? You know what I mean? He came here, he thought he could do a little short-term job. Man United got gassed. They gave him a contract. And we're suffering right now. We just got to hold on, man. You get me? Until this guy leaves, man. You get me? Because for me, Man United never win a trophy under this manager, mate. Never. And I'm yeah. Yeah, you're taking a piss, you. Left play now, man. This guy, man. This clown, man. Look at this clown, man. Yo, get him off my screen, man. Get him off my screen right now. Yo, listen. You know what? Yeah. Even if he wins the Europa League, I still want him gone, mate. I want him out my sight. I want him get me. Just take this brother off me because he's clueless. You get me? A lot of favourites going on right now. You don't know what he's doing. He relies on individual brilliance, and he's an absolute shit coach, mate. I'm done with this guy. You get me? And you guys say what you want. You get me? But for me, Ollie out and just get this clown out, mate. I want him gone, man. Gone.
Anyone here sticking up for him? Considering he's second in the league.
Yeah, I'm sticking up for him. Keep him, man. He's doing a great job. All the Blues are loving it. I
want to expand. I want to expand on what Steve's saying because a lot of Man United fans have been criticising me on this stream quite a lot. That I don't give Ollie enough credit. That I've been quite harsh and rude at times. So I'm going to switch it up to this week. I'm going to say that I hope that he stays. I think he's a good manager. I think he's good. You know, you're second in the league. You're in the next round of the Europa League. You have a terrible record in the semi-finals of the FA Cup under him, so it's good that you're out now, so you don't have to face that palaver in the semi-finals. You're out of the quarterfinals. So I think he's smart. If anything, tactical masterclass that he decided to go out a round earlier to stop the semi-final record from continuing. So I think you should keep him. I think Ollie's at the
Someone said he didn't want to bottle a semi-final. Someone said he didn't want to bottle a semi-final. So
that was me. That was me.
GRIZZ, yeah. GRIZZ. I don't want to give you credit there.
Now listen. These guys, I think there's a lot of sarcasm, right?
No, it's not sarcasm.
Yeah.
No. I mean, over here, you know, but they had Lampard as well, you know. So
but
they've been through this.
Look, overall, I'm going to bring some calmness and seriousness, right? Because we've bantered him to death, right? And we've cussed him to death, man. Look at the state of SAEED.
I haven't even started yet, mate.
No. I don't. Look, he's my brother, man. I don't like seeing him like this, yeah. So look, at the end of the day, he's right? Overall, we all know Ole is not the man to take Man United forward. 100%, we all agree with that, right? Forget the banter. But Matisse, you know, some of the points you made there, they are actually valid, apart from the semi-final bullshit. But in terms of, and I said it last week, and I've said it a couple of weeks, and I said it for Arteta as well, that Man United, of course, you know, in Arteta's level, Arsenal's level, they expect much higher. They're a far bigger club. Their expectations are far bigger. I get all that. But recently, they haven't been on that level. So what they're looking to do, very similar to when Liverpool dropped off, because we dropped off and for so many years we kept thinking, we need to make that jump quick. We need to make that jump quick back to like from 6th to 1st and 2nd again, from 7th to 2nd and 1st again. Man United, I'm going to say it again, and, you know, go wild in the chat. I don't care. Go wild. Go, come at me. But Man United have improved from last season again. And that's all they have that can do it. In my opinion, compared to the likes of Man City and Chelsea, you've got to keep improving. Overall, long term, he's not the man for you. We all know that. Every man and his dog knows that. But he is in the Europa League still. You know, all right, FA Cup, he got turf last night. And he's second, all right, albeit in a mad season, mad league, whatever. He's improved you again a little bit. So but I get the frustrations, mad frustrations with him. I get that.
Yeah, but I can't lie to you. I get what's going on here, but at the same time,
Turkish. If basically SAEED, and try to just cut it all off out your mind. If I told you still now, what is it? 22nd of March. If I told you last summer, 22nd of March, you're going to be second, you know, and the Europa League.
I couldn't give a shit, man. I couldn't give a shit, man. I want trophies, man. So. Nah, man, I'm not with this bullshit. Premier League finishing second, man. 20 points behind. I couldn't give a shit, man. What you are measured on is success, mate, and success is winning trophies. You know what I mean? I don't want to become a. Yeah, it is, man. Come on, Grizz. So what do you live for then as a player on it?
Trophies, not trophy. But you can't say trophies. We've discussed this. For example, if Spurs win a trophy, it's not success.
No,
if you win a League Cup, it's not a success. You know, you can't be saying
but you have to aim for the. You have to aim for a trophy, though.
Of course you do.
Ollie's not even doing that, though. Ollie's not even getting to that semi-final point, quarter-final point. He's bottling it every single time. He's a serial bottler, man.
I get you. I get the frustration, but I'm just saying.
Did you watch the game yesterday, though? Did you watch the game yesterday?
Yeah.
The level of tactics, man. Brendan Rodgers adhered to. Come on, man. This is the level we've got to be at, man. This has got to be the level at, man. Premier League, you go one-off game, another game comes up, you 3 points, it's all rosy. When it's cup competition, but you need to do it, man. That's where managers are done. And this guy's got about, is that for the ego? Get out of here, man. What kind of manager are you, yeah? What kind of manager are you to deserve that kind of respect? Say, it's for the ego, mate. What have you won in your career, mate? You're a dead manager, man. You don't win nothing in your career.
Listen,
He will not get a job, yeah. He will not get a job in the Premier League, man, championship level. He's not even a championship level manager, this guy, man.
Life comes at you fast. 1 minute you're dancing in the kitchen. Next minute, it's all fucking tears. You're hiding behind your big microphone. Massive microphone there. Vince McMahon style. Last week, you're giving it me about Pogba, saying he's an agenda. The only agenda is the truth. And the facts of life is this. You and your mates and all your little streams cannot accept the truth. The truth is what I'm telling you. Half of your team isn't good enough. Your manager isn't good enough. Your owners are bleeding you dry.
Listen, that's what I want to say to it.
Yes, Steve.
You're repeating what I said, though. You're repeating what I said.
No, but can I pick on something, Steve?
You're repeating what I said. What's the point of saying this? You're repeating what I said.
And smell the coffee. Just because you're in a bad mood, don't start taking out on everybody else.
No one's saying that. No one's saying that. No one's saying that. You're just repeating what everyone's saying.
I just repeating what everyone said. By Leicester, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're repeating what everyone said, though.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in there, Steve. Just one thing. Matisse, before you go as well, sir. Right, I agree with Steve in the sense that not enough criticism is made of the players. It's always the manager. As soon as they lose, it's the manager. As soon as they win, it's the players. It's a moment of genius from Rashford. Oh, we got Rashford. Oh, we got Pogba.
No, if you've been watching Man United, mate, and you look at it, yeah.
The squad is poor.
Fred was poor yesterday. Match was poor yesterday. But come on, man, 4 substitutions at once. Who does that? What manager does that?
Desperate. We're
not playing career mode, man. We're not playing career mode where you just bring on 4 players on. What sort of manager? How long have you got time to gel for them players to gel? It's going to take 25 minutes, 20 minutes for 4 players to gel. And he takes off the wrong ones. This manager don't know what he's doing, man. Simple is shit manager. He's a shit basic manager, man.
How much of that goes down to the Fred mistake, though?
But absolutely, but it's Maguire as well. Maguire was at fault as well. But Maguire was at fault for the second goal. Fred, Matic, they're all at fault. But the thing is there's no system in place. They're all running around. It's headless chickens, man. Leicester knew what they were doing. They had a press. You know what I mean? Tielemans was pressing Fred. They knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? Iniacho was picking up the pockets. They were there. Fofana absolutely pocketed Pogba. He knew what he was doing. This is what you call a clear, definitive system. All he don't know what he's doing. I said Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ole Gunnar Freestyle, I called him, yeah? 2 years ago, I called him Ole Gunnar Freestyle. I said he's a freestyle manager. 2 years to this date, yeah? I've not been proven wrong, mate.
If I'm just to make the comparison with Chelsea, right? With what our manager's done for our build-up play in comparison to what I see with Ollie and your build-up play, I think is night and day. And I think that goes to show that he's not up to the task, if I'm being serious. Because how is Fred and Maguire still making those decisions and those errors in an Ollie team? Like, you don't have the right players to build up from the back from the signings that you've made, the Wan-Bissakas of this world, etc., the Lindelofs. But then I look at Chelsea's team and I see Zuma and I see us building out from the back properly against Atletico Madrid under a press. So everyone can keep saying, look, for me, it's both. It's the individuals and the manager, you know? And I think what Steve was saying is right, is that whenever Man United win, you know, we give all the praise to the players. The players are not good enough. The players are not good enough. We keep speaking about all of these players over and over again. We keep saying that, you know, like I said, we spoke about that statement earlier in the season. Man United have got the best depth in the league or the best squad overall. No, they don't. And that's
it's only them. It's only them that think that. Nobody else.
No. It's how you use it. It's how you use it. Let me say a question. Yeah, the problem is with us. Yeah, we've got a manager who said, yeah, and I don't know if you see guys a quote. He said, I manage a team. I don't coach them. He goes, we've not got enough time on the training ground. How can a Man United manager say that? And then you go and hire, and then you go and get your friends, Michael Carrick, Kieran McKenna, might feel who are not good enough. It's like being a lifeguard, yeah, and you don't know how to swim. What's the point being there up the top if you don't know how to swim?
Did he not say something about trophies are not that important because they're...
But there you go then, man. You might think I'm just going mad for no reason, mate. I've been calling this guy to go for 2 years, and I know you're mocking it, you get me? I know that, it's all banter, I know that. But reality is, yeah, it's not good enough. If you man can see it's not good enough, why can't the flipping fan base can see it's not good enough? But they'll never go, though, because at the end of the day, it's a benchmark for the Glazers. Say, you know what? We've got a legend here, and I'll never, ever think it will be a toxic environment. It won't be, because he's a legend, isn't it?
But what's so mad is that you're not even on the verge of sacking him. He sounds like he's getting a new contract.
Oh,
that's
can't wait.
Mad.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. As soon as he signs that deal, wow, that's mint.
This
is the new one.
Mentioning that deal, like this comment here says Ole's favoritism will be the end of him. The 80 mil he spent on Maguire will be the sword which kills him. He can't drop him, and he knows that it's sad. But there's talk of a new contract. So what is it? What is actually going on? Which one is it, Saeed? Like which wave is bigger at the moment?
The what? The Ole out movement or the contract?
Yeah, the trust the process or the...
Listen, there's no process, man. For me, there's no process. You get me? They're not going to back him, but it's an easy target, mate. You know what I mean? Imagine you've said you've got a guy who loves the football club and he believes the football club, and he says, you know what? All right, then I love the football club. I'll take this what I've got right now. You give me a player of this quality instead of a Declan Rice or a Ndidi. I'll take this player because he'll do that because he loves the football club. And he's got people now, Darren Fletcher, John Murtough, who are going to be a cover for the Glazers. And that's why they're not going to really back him. But what I'm saying is get a better manager to work with what we've got and can improve players. You know what I mean? Because I know the Glazers will never go. I know they've already got a principle in place for Darren Fletcher and John Murtough to be doing all the footballing decisions behind Woodward. Sorry?
Who would it be for you? Because you wanted Pochettino. That option.
I wanted Pochettino, but for me, we need a coach, man. A guy who's got a philosophy and a style of play. For me, I'm looking at Nagelsmann. I'm looking at Ten Hag. I'm even looking at Brendan Rodgers, man. I want a coach, who can get these guys playing football, and then we can move on. Bring this guy who, for me, Van Gaal, as much as I say, I'll give banter to Van Gaal. He was the closest person, to come in here with a footballing philosophy. It didn't work out in the end, and it sacked him very, very harshly. But he was the first closest guy to creating a footballing philosophy. We never had that in the Mourinho. Mourinho was a quick fix. We wanted trophies. Yes, he did that. You know what I mean? The FA Cup and Carabao Cup. But the way he left, very, very toxic. Then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, and it was almost like, you know what? Good vibes and whatnot. But when you really, really assessed it, it wasn't good enough. But right now, it's a cheap option. And it's a cheap option to stay for Man United. And that's the bottom line.
Free, Lampard's free. Would you take Lampard?
Oh, you kidding me? Absolutely kidding me.
Get Neil Warnock in it. Get someone like Neil Warnock, a proper football man, and that he'll take control. He'll love it at United and that big club.
Yeah, see, I don't do with that little. I don't do with that mentality.
Sam Allardyce is the one. Honestly, Sam Allardyce for a crisis. The man for a crisis.
Saeed,
Christian Gross still about?
Who?
Christian Gross.
I don't know what he's on about, mate. But go on.
Yeah, this comment here saying we've tried elite managers in the past and it didn't work. I think this is something that Arsenal fans are going to come to realize soon enough in terms of.
Listen, nobody has a plan for the Glazers, mate. You know what I mean? Nobody has a plan for the Glazers. Nobody has a plan for the Glazers. Hold on. Nobody has a plan for the Glazers. Yeah, you know what I mean. So for me, everyone say Glazers out. Nobody has a plan for them. You know what I mean? For me, it's one of them. For me. Glazers want $5 billion. Who's going to get $5 billion out of nowhere? They've already tried to restructure the football club with John Mert or Darren Fletcher. They're trying to look forward to that year. But that's something. So the next fix is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that for me, he has to go. It's simply not good enough.
They got a stranglehold of that club, and they ain't looking to let go at all.
There you go, then, man.
I've never
mafia business.
I've never understood this logic of we've tried elite managers before, so we're never going to have another elite.
But there you go, then, isn't it?
Where does that logic come from? Everything has context. So you tried elite managers before, maybe they played the wrong style of football, maybe they clashed heads with the board. It doesn't mean that you don't get elite managers again. I take Chelsea again, for example. We've had elite managers. What, do we not go after Thomas Tuchel now? Do we go and get another rookie manager who has no experience? No, that's not what you do. You go out and get a top manager and you build it properly this time. That's what you do. I'm not saying the owners are not a problem. Obviously, the Glazers are a problem, but you can't say Ollie is not an issue. You can't actually be watching the way that Man United play. I've been saying all season they're a false image in second place. You can't be watching
False
the way Man
image,
United
mate.
play and
Flip
tell
it
me
now.
that Ollie is not a problem at Manchester United. It's not possible. There's no way your two eyes are watching what's going on and telling me there's nothing wrong with Ollie. So you get a new owner and you splash money, and then Ollie still doesn't know what he's doing, and that's fine. That doesn't make any sense.
The problem is, yeah, the money has never been the issue. It's about how we spent the money. Woodward is a banker, and he's don't know absolutely nothing about football. The reason why we spent 85 million on Maguire should never have happened. 50 million on Bissaka. We should have thought through this properly, but we didn't. The money was there. It's about how we used it, and Woodward had no clue what to do. Maybe, and then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was like, you know what? I'll take Maguire. You know, what I mean, if it's worth 85 million, it must be good.
Absolutely.
Well, if you got Nagelsmann, he's probably thinking, hold on. No, I don't want that player. I want this player who will suit my system. You know what I mean? It's common sense, mate. Ole doesn't have that common sense, so he says, you know what? I'll take one Bissaka. I'll take that player. As long as I know I'm getting players, I'm happy with that. That's different mentality where you've got elite level of coach of maybe a Ten Hag or Nagelsmann who will fit it according to his system and his style of play.
The thing is, the way they spend money is ludicrous as well. If you notice, they get raped in the transfer market every single time.
United tax, man.
United tax, but I mean, every player, it ends up the club get their asking price. Now, how often does that happen in football these days? Like when a player comes available, let's just say, what was his name? Bruno Fernandes. Let's just say, he comes up for sale and the club puts out a price they want 56 million. United always end up after a drama. Let's not forget the saga that every transfer is, right? They end up paying the asking price. So selling clubs know that stick in there. United system is such that they make a drama and pretend they're fighting for the fee to come down, but in the end, they're going to pay us what we want. Standard.
Chris, these clubs, they play United off years ago. 100%. Man United walk into any club and say, right, we want the player. There's your shirt with your number on. The player just goes, I'm signing for Man United, and United had everyone over a barrel. Now, these clubs are going to Man United. Oh, yeah, Man City's offered us X, Y, and Z. What are you offering? Then they go, they shit themselves and 100%. Sign him. Fred, Maguire, Alexis Sanchez. City walk away from the deal when the deal's not right for us at the end of the day. Pep Guardiola probably looked at Maguire and thought, nah, mate, I ain't paying that for him. United's paid it. No matter what you say, banter aside, Gary Neville said it. Man United's been played in the market over the last few years.
For sure.
Man United should never be played because, like you say, it was one of them clubs under Fergie where you could walk in, throw the Man United shirt on the table, and the player's taking the shirt and signing for Man United. But I'm looking at players like, no disrespect, I'm looking at Fred, and I've never seen a guy give the ball away as many times in the midfield, right? Pogba, yeah, I'm not going into Pogba, there's nowhere that leads, but all I'm saying is, one game, he turns up, wins you the game, and you think, fucking hell, fair play. And then on Sunday when we wanted him to turn up, yeah, he doesn't turn up. And then at the end, sorry, my computer's going a bit funny. And then I'm looking at the bench, he brings Bruno on and all that coming on. The squad, that is the players in the squad. You look at the team, it's a good side. But I'm starting to think now, obviously, Solskjaer, I mean, it's mad how our fan base can get so irate about finishing second. I mean, you've just got to be careful.
It's not a true measure, though. It's not no. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. That's what Arsene Wenger and all that did, mate. You know what I mean? That's not me, man.
You tell me, yeah, why you keep bringing up Nagelsmann? What's Nagelsmann done? What's he done?
It's not about that. It's not about that.
Is he good enough for Man United?
Of course he is, mate. Are you mad? Have you not watched him, mate? What is built?
Watch these teams getting out.
What is built, man? That's very harsh, mate. Very harsh.
I think United. I think with Man. Sorry, Matisse. I think with Man United, like Matisse said, when you watch them, when you watch Man United, you can't believe they're in second. Like, don't get it wrong. They'll go through their spells where they do look good occasionally, but Ollie is not a manager that breeds consistency in performances, but weirdly enough, he gets results. And I hear where Grizz is coming from in sense that in the 3 years at Man United that he's been there, United progressively are getting better in terms of where they're finishing. I think they finished 6th in his first season, finished 3rd last year, on course to finish 2nd. But when you look at how they're coached, it's still the same. The only thing that's changed,
I agree.
The only thing that's changed is their squad is getting better. they had a deficit in quality when he first came, and year on year, their squad, man for man, is getting better. And I think you can give Ollie some credit in terms of where they got to now, but I think the frustration from SAEED's side is the fact that a better manager gets more out of these players. A better manager gets them playing better. A better manager gets them winning matches that they should be winning. And a better manager in Ollie's position over the past 2-3 years probably wins a trophy. So this is why it's so strange to me that Man United are looking to offer Ole Gunnar Solskjaer an extension, because for me, it's more a case of he's not doing anything. He's not doing enough right now to warrant the sack, but he's not doing enough, in my opinion, to warrant being given a new contract.
I love
you laugh here, but if Man United came out,
agree.
If Man United came out and sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now, there's no justification for it.
What?
Like we know,
It's
honestly,
funny.
we know. No, honestly, we know there's a deficit in coaching, but he's second in the league and they're still in the Europa League. Do you get what I'm saying? There is no justification for sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now, and that's the truth, though. That's the pain. No, 1 second. That's the pain.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
But that's the pain that Man United fans are going through now, and I feel the pain because you can't get rid of him, but you know full well that he's not good enough to manage Man United. I know it as well.
2 years of no style of play, mate.
You know what it is?
No style of play.
You know what it
before, yeah, that managers can either be the most important person at their club, or they can be the person that is carried by individual brilliance and by their players. Klopp, we've spoken about it at Liverpool. I would say in the short time I've seen Tuchel at Chelsea, he's definitely made our defense look better than it is on an individual basis. Man City, Pep, he is the person at Man City that, brings their team to another level. Yes, they've got world-class players, but we know how important the system is at Man City. Ole does not strike anyone as the most important person at Man United. More time when they win, it's carried by individual brilliance. It's carried by Pogba
let him
in the
know,
second
man.
half against AC Milan during greatness, or Pogba scoring a half volley at the edge of the box in the last minute to win you a 2-1 game that you conceded and played like dog shit for the first hour of the game, and then you managed to come from behind. So when someone like Boogeyman here says, I'm going to clip this and we're second in the league, keep your second place, but it's not going to take you anywhere because you haven't won anything at the end of the day. There's nothing to show for the second place. The only thing that's going into your second place is the Glazers' money, back pocket. More Premier League money. That's all it is.
I think a huge frustration for the United fans, massive, and it's just sort of echoing kind of what you said, Matisse, but just giving it more context is when you talked about these clubs, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, you'll find, and look, you've talked about Tommy Tuchel coming in and inspiring the players. We know what kind of inspiration Pep is for players. We know what Klopp is for players. We even know what Ferguson was, the ultimate motivation for players and inspiration players. I think when you're at a club like Man United, and let's not beat around the bush, they're one of the biggest clubs in the world, right? You need a manager who will command respect amongst the squad, like those other coaches that we've mentioned. And if you look around world football as well, Real Madrid, when Zidane speaks, people listen. Right, you know what I mean. So these kind of figures at these clubs, it's no coincidence that these clubs have got figures at the helm that command respect, and Ole does not command any respect whatsoever at United, and that's a major issue.
Look, GRIZZ, from a legend standpoint, he's not Zidane. He's not Frank Lampard. I've said this before. From a legend standpoint in global football, as a generational player,
he's not, man.
He's not that. And then
he just scored an iconic goal. That's all he did. He just scored an iconic goal.
So from a legend standpoint,
he's your modern day Divock Origi.
Yeah. So from a legend standpoint, he doesn't tick that box because he's not. To be a legend, okay, cool. You can have a few moments of Man United as a super sub, but to be a legend of football like a Zidane, that demands respect. Or you can be a top manager and 100%. Demand respect that way. He doesn't tick.
How can you demand respect? Yeah. How can you demand respect when the manager said, "I don't coach a team, I manage them, and I don't have enough time in the training ground"? How can anyone respect the guy when he goes, "I'm just a manager, I don't coach them"? And then you got people who coaching him, and McKenna and Michael Carrick. How can you respect that, man?
He minimalized winning trophies. Said it's not as important as people say. He's smiling, man. People may want to overread into it. When someone is smiling after a defeat, game in, game out. Whenever they lose, he's in the interview smiling. Do you think the
He
players
just might
are
be one of
watching
them
that back?
smiley dudes, man. He might be one of them
Nah,
smiley
man,
guys.
don't smile, man. Don't smile, man.
Wait, for my.
You think I'm smiling now? You think I'm smiling now, man?
Bro,
Don't
wait,
smile,
wait.
man.
With that
Smiling,
smile.
Don't smile, man. Don't
That
smile,
in
man.
my
that he's not
in my
serious.
culture, if there's, I'm sure there's loads of Asian family in the chat. Yeah, that smile's called besharam. He's a besharam. That means shameless smile, and the people in the chat will know. That's what that smile is. It's a shameless smile. Besharam.
Do you know what though, Matisse? Just a quick one, yeah? Do you know when you said before about big players pulling them out the shit and all that?
Yeah.
Against AC Milan, was it not Solskjaer that made the substitution that brought Pogba on? So is that not?
He had no choice, mate. He had no choice.
Yeah,
He had
but is
no
that not
choice.
Solskjaer master?
No. It's not
Is that not
Solskjaer.
Solskjaer
It's
masterclass?
not
Every
Solskjaer.
other manager does that and he gets credit for it, but Ollie
Nah,
doesn't get credit for
Steve,
it.
No. Let me start with this one. He had absolutely no choice, mate. We were playing dead football, mate. He had no choice. You have to bring on a
Could've
half.
kept him on the bench. He's the manager. He couldn't have brought him on at all.
Nah, man, don't give me that bullshit, man. Don't give me
It's
that
like-
bullshit.
Tell me
He had
that.
no choice, mate. He had
Steve.
no choice to bring him on.
It's like
Masterclass.
putting your hand
The
in the
masterclass
fire.
decision.
Saeed,
It's like
can I
putting
ask
your
a question
hand in
though?
the
'Cause-
fire and then you decide to take it out. That's what that is for me. That is literally the only way I can explain it. Your hand is in the fire. You need to score a goal. Oh, let me take my hand out the
Like
fire.
the Cavani one in Southampton as well. He had no choice. We're 2-0 down. He brought Cavani, he changed the game, mate. He had no choice, mate, because it was embarrassing, mate. Embarrassing.
Saeed, I think you're right to criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for his coaching, and there is clearly a deficit in quality with him. But I do think that when he does do good things as a Man United manager, I don't really see you give him credit. And the one thing in addition to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, fair enough, if you're going to criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he deserves criticism. But you need to start criticizing some of these players when they play badly.
Listen, should I tell you what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, man? You know when someone owes you money, I don't want the money back now. Just take the money and go, mate. That's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is right now.
I get that.
You know what I mean? He owes me money. I don't want it anymore. Just go, mate. Just go.
I get that, bro. Bro, you're not criticized. You criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's fair enough. We know he's not good enough for Man United, but I don't see you criticizing your players, man.
I do criticize. You don't see it, man. I do criticize them. I
I'm not
criticize
saying
Fred.
that
I
generally.
thought it was shocking last night.
Bro, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about this game, bro. This game. We need to talk about some of those players' performances because, as I've always said, the manager. Fair enough. The manager, like Matisse said, the manager makes a significant impact on the team, but players have a minimum standard that they need to adhere to. And if they're not adhering to that standard, you need to criticize them. Maguire was playing well for a couple weeks. Lord knows why he's given that hospital pass to Fred. Fred turns over possession, and then if you look at the way the match went throughout, yeah, Leicester were all over you from start to finish.
Yeah, because I think he had a tactically astute manager.
Yeah, of course.
And he absolutely outclassed.
I agree with that. I agree.
Brendan Rodgers is a serious guy.
We've spoken about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We've literally spent 30 minutes talking about him. So what I'm saying is, in addition to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, surely some of these players deserve criticism too.
Listen, I'm not trying to blame this all on in terms of the result yesterday. Of course, the players have their blame, but when you keep seeing it, I don't know if you guys watch United, but what they do is they play out from the back constantly, mate, and they can't do it. So what are you trying it for? Is it a method that's been taught by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his coaching team to say, you know what, we're playing out from the back, we're doing this, and when you haven't got the players for it, why are you persisting on it? These are the things you've got to be asking yourself, man. You know what I mean? Arteta's been doing it, but he still persists on it because he has that arrogance. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't have that. If you can't do it, kick the ball out and play it again. You know what I mean, bro? So what's
you're United, man? You're United, man. You can't be kicking and rushing, man. You got to coach your team how to play football, man.
Yeah, but if the pass is not there, you haven't got the players for it, though, Grizz.
You might as well get Sam Allardyce, man. You might as well get Sam Allardyce.
You just say kick the ball out and start again.
No, it's not about that. Hold on. I'm not saying that, but when it's time to go kick it long, mate. When it's time to go kick it long. But I don't know why this guy's laughing, though. When it's time to kick it long, yeah, go kick it out.
Living room listening to that.
Yeah, but
kick it long, though. If the ball's not there, kick it long. The ball
you might
is
as well
not there.
sign Peter Crouch. You might as well sign Peter Crouch if you're going for them tactics.
It's just about that moment in context, mate. If you didn't hear that properly, it was about that moment in context. Maguire should have cleared it out.
Kick it long. Do it the Man United way. Kick it long. Get Allardyce in.
Toby, you must be able to understand where Saeed's coming from, though, because you as a Tottenham fan. you as a Tottenham fan want Mourinho out, right?
Yeah.
And more time when you speak about Tottenham, your most of your emphasis is on Mourinho.
Of course, man.
If we bring up Levy, cool, but it's still mostly Mourinho. You could talk about individuals like Lucas Moura or Lamella, but they don't start most of the time. They're not major players in the squad.
They do play.
But they're not major players in the squad. They don't
have to be major players, bro. For me, I base blame on players, manager. I base blame on the lot. It's not just when you're seeing teams play badly. I didn't say SAEED can't criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but criticize some of those players when they're not playing well. That's all I've said. That's all I said.
It's no coincidence, mate, when you've got top level players, mate. And they all, you know what it is, yeah? When you have one or two players not playing well, okay, I understand it. But when the whole 11, mate, is not playing well, then you've got to question the manager, mate.
Yeah,
sorry.
I agree.
Question the manager, man.
I agree. But look at Chelsea. Look at Matisse now with Chelsea. Look at the difference Thomas Tuchel has made. Did that stop Matisse and co from criticizing Pulisic when he's got 1 goal, 1 assist all season? Timo Werner when he's missing 11 big chances, etc., etc. Bro, when players play badly, you criticize.
Yeah, that's one player. I'm not talking about. That's what I'm saying. That's one player you're talking about there, though.
It's not just
I'm talking about
player,
yesterday.
bro.
Everyone was poor. If everyone's poor, it comes down to the coaching level, mate. I'm sorry.
Bro, I'm not disputing the coaching. I'm not disputing coaching as an issue. I'm saying in addition to coaching, you can criticize some players as well. You know, if a player plays badly, you hide behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, but I'm talking about yesterday, though. You're not listening. I'm talking about yesterday. The whole 11 was poor.
And the coaching was terrible yesterday. But what I'm saying to you is, so were some of those players. Look at the first goal you conceded, bro. That is crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. But again, though, why are you playing that from the back? Again, what are you playing it from the back for? Well, they do it all the time, mate. They do it all the time. Every time they do it. Sheffield United game. Did you watch Sheffield United game? Dilly-dallying around on the back. What are you doing that for?
Bro, I've seen it.
Who's been telling him to do that?
Bro. I've seen it multiple times, bro. And I've already said, and I don't know why all these comments are getting my words misconstrued. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a problem. But why are we not talking about some of the players that shagged us all yesterday? Why? Why can't they both be at fault?
Who did it all come under? Who did it all come under?
They come under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but
well, there you go then, innit? Well, there you go.
Fred was terrible yesterday, bro. Fred was awful.
The whole team was terrible. I just told you, the whole team was terrible.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm making. That's literally the point I'm making. Speak about some of the players, bro. That's all I said. And man are getting on me. Like, what's wrong with what I've said there? Tell me what's
in it, man.
I wanted to ask.
Is Rory Delap still about? Get him. He'll throw them big throw-ins and that.
Man said Allardyce and Rory Delap. Matisse, remember this question for later when we move on to Chelsea about Thomas Tuchel, Pippin, maybe Pep or Klopp to the league. SAEED, would Fred and Matic start? Well, this is an easy question. There's no way they're starting for Leicester City.
No, never, man. I'll take both of them, man. I'll take both of them. Ndidi and Tillemans, mate. Quality.
So I guess, listen, you know, when you're second, and going back to, I think Boogeyman said it earlier about being second in the league, it's kind of like being best of a bad bunch.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Remember when Arsenal finished second, yeah? I know the league, look, I'm an advocate of the league table doesn't lie, but it doesn't always tell.
Do you remember that second place, though, Turkish?
We finished second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember how we finished second, and then.
But are you bothered about it anymore? You know what I mean? Is it a trophy anymore,
bro?
You know what I mean, bro? Come on, man.
That second place, we haven't finished in the top 4 since, so it's not like that second place told us we're going in the right direction. Remember Jose with you, man. Second, you wasn't going in the right direction.
And he got absolutely slated, by the way. He got absolutely slated. But it's a legendary football club. It's all right for Ollie, isn't it?
I think Rodgers as well, Grizz. I think Rodgers finished second one year, wasn't it? And then the next year, sacked because obviously I
agree, and totally agree, because at the same time when Rodgers finished second, we knew it was weak foundations, not false so much, because we knew if we added some players, but obviously we didn't, but we knew it was on weak foundations. You know what I mean? This is the thing with United as well. I don't think their foundations are weak, guys. I think their foundations are strong. I just think they've got poor players on the outskirts. And that's a major difference between.
But then, you know, Chris, let me just spot on you there. But Chris, you know what he's doing though? But what he's doing is he's putting McTominay and Fred together to compensate the back four. You know what I mean? He's putting Dan James on the right when we all know it's not good enough. He's tinkering it around too much. You know what I mean? Like, ever since that 6-1 happened, mate, he's become, for me, a very, very defensive coach, man, who hits on a counter. That's all it is, mate. He hits on a counter. And when that doesn't deliver, we are what we are, man. Simple
But all
as
right,
that.
Saeed, let me be devil's advocate. After that 6-1, yeah, I can remember how you man were feeling, yeah. But you would have wanted your manager to learn a lesson, yeah. And since that 6-1, you man have become second in the league. And I know it's the best of the bad bunch, but you can't realistically, even before the season started, you didn't realistically think you're going to win the league.
No. I never said that. But for me, I said you have to come trophies with this. And for me, there's no clear signs this guy's going to win a trophy, mate. This FA Cup for me is easier than the Europa League, mate. You don't know what you're going to get with Granada. You don't know what you're going to get with Ajax and Roma. But you know what you're going to get with Chelsea. You see them every week. I don't know what Granada are going to be like. I don't know what Ajax are going to be like. This was an easier trophy to win. Especially against a Leicester. So hold on. Especially against a Leicester team who had Barnes out, Madison out. We had our strongest 11 possible. Okay, Bruno was on the bench and Rashford was available. But he had Pogba coming in. Van der Beek. This guy was a Champions League. You know what I mean? He was doing bits at Ajax. And he's telling me he can't improve these players. He can't do it with his players. He's a limited coach who can't coach Van der Beek and all these other lot. He can't do it.
I agree there.
He can't do it, man.
But you know, Matisse, you know, we're saying like just not. I'm not deflecting it to Chelsea, but you can come from a moment experience, because just before Tommy Tuchel came in, you was going through similar situation with Frank Lampard. The accusations were similar. The criticism was similar. Like, he's a novice of a coach. He can't improve the players. What's he doing? He's just a club legend, etc., etc. What was your feelings at the time? Remind us. Like, was you as vociferous as this? Was you as passionate as this? Was you as clear as this that you want Lampard out, or was you willing to give?
I gave him time.
And don't lie, because I'll rewind your videos.
No, I mean, you can, because I gave him time.
Lampard wasn't even given time, by the way. Sorry, Matisse. Lampard wasn't even given time. He wasn't even given time.
Listen, I gave him. You need to remember, Lampard was in his second season. His first season was solid. He got, you know, he did a decent. He did, huh?
Yeah, but Tobes, this is what I'm saying. Let him finish. Let him finish.
Let him finish.
Because this is interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So first season, right? He got a transfer ban. So just to point that out, Toby, because again, you seem to keep forgetting this. So he got a transfer ban. Finished in the top 4, which was his objective. Got to a cup final and lost. And the cup final, I was extremely annoyed that he lost to Arsenal, because we were the stronger outfit, and we should have, in my opinion, been beating them in the final. So he gets his second season money spent. We give him half of the season. He gets sacked halfway through the season. So that, in comparison with Ollie, is what, a whole year less. Yeah. So, to put it into context, after the Leicester game, I wanted him to leave, and a week later he was sacked. I wanted him to be given time up until I think he got a break where he had 2 weeks and the Morecambe game in between. I wanted to see if these excuses of I don't have time to train the players, which is what Saeed is referencing now, I want to see if that was bulletproof. Came back 2 weeks after the Morecambe game, played Fulham, 1-0 away win. I remember it well. We played like dog shit, right? So I was like, cool, no changes. Leicester, couple days later, lost 2-0, slapped off the face of the earth, not good enough. I was like, he needs to leave. So I have patience, and I think everybody has their tolerance of patience, but when you've gone over that mark where you show that you can't do what needs to be done, and he wasn't looking like finishing top 4, which for me, as I always said, as Chelsea was the bare minimum requirement, then he has to go. And it's not to be disrespectful, but yes, he's a legend, but you have to isolate it and say, do you give a project, which is what Man United fans keep telling me, which Boogeyman keeps telling me, who must be on the Glazer payroll right now. If you've got a project and you don't have an experienced project manager, you have to see clear signs of progression and improvement throughout the project. You don't just give a project 3 years and say, oh, I'm not going to make any changes regardless of what's going on. If there is not improvement and signs of progression, then you have to change the project manager. The project can still continue. People have this thing in their notion, in their head, that a project means that it has to be only by this one man that's in charge. The project can continue with a different man. Simple as that. So Lampard, in the end, didn't have the tools to do the job. Most Chelsea fans will admit that he was learning on the job, and he didn't learn fast enough, so he had to go.
And the main thing is, your owner had the tools to do the job. Your owner is different from anyone else. He can do that shit. He can play different manager every month. You know what I mean? So that's significant, because it feels like from the outside, as soon as you felt that Lampard needed to be out, the owner felt that too, along with the fan base. At the same time, he felt the vibes through the fan base. These mans ain't going to feel that. They're not a day-to-day people with Man United. You know what I mean? They're not going to feel that. So that's the difference, I think.
I have to step in here and say I defend SAEED here because I've heard SAEED say multiple
some Glazer
times
payroll tonight, man. It's a lot of Glazer payroll tonight.
I can't lie to you. SAEED has mentioned the Glazers a lot, but when you mention a manager, and this comes from an Arsenal fan who's been through managers before, as soon as you mention a manager, whether it's in a positive light or a negative light, you're in that in or out bandwagon. As soon as you either make a negative comment or positive. But I have seen SAEED mention Glazers.
Notice how he's not saying any trophy there. Notice how there's no trophy there. He's just saying second. That's all he's saying. Look at that. Look what Ollie's made this mentality in this football club, man. About second. Fuck second, man. I don't give a shit about second, man. It's all about winning trophies. That's what I want to see, man. I don't care. That's about where we finish the Premier League, Because you know why, yeah? I'd rather finish outside the top 4 so the Glazers don't get any money, mate. They don't get any money. I want to see trophies, man.
We've given so many examples of teams that have finished second and gone on to do nothing and build off those positions. They haven't built off those positions. If Man United are so good and they can finish second, why can't they win a cup? Why can't you win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup? Why?
Because they're not coached well enough. We know that already.
Right then. So what's all this second business then?
Well, there you
Don't
go.
make no sense.
They're not coached well enough.
No sense.
They're not coached well enough. We know that though. We know that though. And I think the Man United board, we've seen incompetence since Sir Alex Ferguson left. But if they really get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on a contract extension, that is literally the height of incompetence. Just let him go out. Let him go out.
Oh man, these super chats are killing me tonight.
Let him go out.
It's killing me, man. It's killing me, man. Top 4 club, man. Top 4 club.
The standards
This
are
is the mentality of the Man United fans now, man.
I know, man, and I'm trying to keep that mentality up. But what it is here, all he's coming is degraded the club, mate. He's talking about trophies are for the ego. What's going on, man?
Standards have dropped.
Yeah, that's a mad thing to say, man. There's a lot of
finished.
similarities between what happened at Arsenal and what's happening at United. And I've told my Man United friends that as well. I said it's like you lot are 7 years into where we was when it started happening to us, where we still favor some players. We still think we're 2-3 players off of something special, but it never ever happens or it never goes in the right manner. It's a bit different because United spend money, and that's where I think more can be placed on the managers, because if you spend money in line with the other teams that are winning the league, then surely you should be one of them up there in that challenge consistently. If you're not, then as much as that money being spent in the wrong direction comes to the board more than the manager, the players and the performances come down to the manager. And if you spend money, there's more pressure on you. The thing with Arsenal, we don't spend that money to really fully justify our assumption on the manager, whether Arteta really is good enough or whether he is not good enough. I can't say for sure because I know he's not getting what he really needs for me to say we've had a 200 mil transfer window. We should be up there with Chelsea or we should be up there with City and Liverpool. We don't do that to say we should be. So why should we be? Whereas United do that. That's the difference. United do that. That's why I kind of feel for him in a sense where the standards are dropping at United. I've seen it happen at Arsenal. The standards are dropping, and the fans at Arsenal have been a part of that, me included. I was sold a dream. All I can say is, listen, as an Arsenal fan, I love it, but on your side, you lot need to kind of look in the mirror as well as fans and all start putting it in the right direction. Because it isn't Ole. Let's be honest, it isn't Ole. It's more the Glazers, but realistically.
But there's no plan for the Glazers, man. You are selling all these little top reds, yeah? What's the plan for the Glazers? Oh, you know what? We don't know. They don't know. They say, keep Ole, but then when you talk about the Glazers, they stay quiet, mate. They don't know what they're doing. As long as Ole's there, we're saying, we're all right, don't worry. We've got a legend here. When you ask them about the Glazers, they have no word to say, mate. Nothing. They're all on the payroll, mate. I'm telling you.
I think we broke the Tottenham record. I think we spoke more about United today than we did with Toby about Tottenham last week after their failure in the North London derby. So Man United have got 50 minutes. Why did we need to be?
We've got to give a bit of credit. We've got to give a bit of credit to Leicester as well, because Leicester don't get enough credit on this show for me. And Brendan Rodgers, people have took the piss out of him over time with Liverpool, and at Celtic he got a bit of hate when he left. But fair play to him. That Leicester team, they're a young, dynamic team. They were hungry for it yesterday. Tielemans, Iniaccio, and I think Leicester are building something there. I think they're building something, and Brendan Rodgers, they'll be lucky to keep him because there's a few big big vultures in this Premier League, and if I was the owner of one of them big vultures, I'd be saying, we need to grab this guy before he gets settled at Leicester. We need to grab him. He knows the Premier League. He nearly done it with Liverpool, and he's thereabouts with Leicester. So if you give Brendan Rodgers the right tools and just a little bit more backing than what he got, he'll take you to that title. I'm telling you now.
That's
and people
what
talk about
recruitment can do, isn't it? And good scouting.
Spot on. And people talk about his time at Liverpool. We had no right to be with you guys on that level, Steve, that year.
No.
Honestly, we had no divine right. We weren't a great squad. Very similar to United, in fact, except the style was completely different. Like, sort of, we weren't. It was kind of false, but the football was so sensational to watch. It was so much enjoyment. It just carried us. And a lot of it, people talked about, that was all Suarez. We know Suarez is one of the greatest players in recent history, but a lot of it was down to his coaching. And since then, he's proved that he's a very good coach. I wouldn't call him a world-class coach yet, but he's a very, very good coach, and not enough credit is given to him. I agree with you.
I like him, man. He's on course for what? He's on course. Hopefully they don't. To be honest, hopefully they don't bottle it. I don't see Spurs getting Champions League. So
let's say bottling this year.
They got some tough fixtures coming up, but I want them to solidify that, and I want him to get to a cup final as well, because I feel like that the bottler's thing is a stick that a lot of people beat him with, and yes, until he shakes that monkey off his back, they're still going to beat him with him. But it shouldn't really take away from the fact that he is a very good coach. And he's a coach that I feel like I don't give enough credit for what he's done at Leicester this season. When you look at the injuries they've had, the position they're in the table as well, he's up there, man. He's up there.
What are you saying, Tobes? You're setting yourself up for Rodgers in this summer, or?
I would love Brendan Rodgers. I'll take him in a heartbeat. But I honestly don't think he'll come to Spurs. If they get Champions League football, why would he come to Tottenham? Why would he?
They got proper football structure, man. They got a training ground. Listen, man. Leicester they got things that people think. You know what? He's got building something there. MATISSE signed a deal. You know what I mean? They've got something that got a good academy as well.
With Leicester as well. We spoke about it before. It's one of them clubs where there's no pressure there for him. It's one of them clubs where the structure from the top to the bottom, it's a harmonious club. The chairman, they're all like one big happy family. The fan base accepts what he needs to accept. They give him time, and Pep Guardiola said that in his interview the other week about people giving him time, and if they have a problem, they go back to the drawing board and see how they can assess the problem. Some of these fan bases, as soon as there's a problem, the banners are out, the planes are flying all over the place, and then they get the manager out. I think, you've proven these clubs that let managers work a little bit, they tend to get the results.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we'll move on to the two teams from the Big Six that made it and got each other in the next round. Chelsea, City. Who do we start with?
Whatever. I'll go.
I'll let Steve go, because my team, we didn't really play great. It was a false image 2-0, but we'll take it.
I did predict the 2-0. I thought Everton did okay. I thought they dug in and defended well. But it comes down to that little bit of quality. I mean, you looked at our bench again, and I mentioned it before on Matisse's show. We had so many options. So no matter how that game went, if we'd have got a goal down, maybe 2 goals down, 2-1, whatever, we had options to change the plan. But we kept control of the ball. Possession was great again. And look, Gundogan again. When you need it, he pops up with a goal, and then De Bruyne off the bench. So the quality was there. Yeah, we've got through to the next round. Chelsea in the next round. Going to be a tougher game than Everton. Semi-final, Wembley. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see how Tuchel sets them up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I thought, and Steve may probably not agree with this, but I was looking at it from a point of view that it's the FA Cup. And Everton, realistically, apart from fighting for top 4, all right, but Everton put everything into that game. Honestly, God, they put everything into that game. Defensively, tactically, they had a whole week to prepare. Carlo Ancelotti master plan, and they gave City such a hard game. But I thought City was so good. So good. It was the epitome of just waiting, just playing. And there was no space. There was no space. In that first half, there was no space for City. but they didn't change their tactics. They didn't change their philosophy, kept working the ball. And you could see slowly, the energy from the Everton players just dipping in that second half. Every 5 minutes, they couldn't keep up. And that's when I'm talking for, because this is what Liverpool used to do as well last season as well. But that's what you do. You keep the ball moving. And it was inevitable, even though it was getting into the 80th minute or something, wasn't it? 84 minute. You just knew City about to score. I thought it was one of the most perfect away performances this season, considering the circumstances, if you know what I mean. Like Everton putting everything into it, one-off cup game, City coming back from Champions League, rotation of squad. Fantastic, man.
I think the performances recently bode well for City in the Champions League too.
Yeah, man.
In comparison to like the last 3 years, you know, City have been silly at times, and that's led to exits, that's led to losses. I don't think they're as silly as they have been before, because all they had to do is get their head screwed on this season, and they walk it. And they have walked it because their head is screwed on. Matisse, are you happy about City next? Because you would have had to face them, I think, eventually.
No. Who wants to play City? Like, nobody wants to play City. Even though, you know, I've been, like Toby said earlier, I've been, you know, very impressed with Chelsea, you know, unbeaten. At the same time, we're not perfect. Do you know what I mean? And to come up against City is not the draw that anybody wanted, if we're being real. But in saying that, we have played quite well against the big teams. Everybody saw that, you know, difficult run we had with Tottenham, you know, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, and we passed the test with flying colours. So I am actually intrigued to see how Thomas Tuchel approaches the game. I think it's going to be his biggest test so far since he's taken the job, because I think Porto, not to be disrespectful to them, but we should win that game if we stay concentrated. I think obviously City's a better team than Porto and Atletico Madrid as well. So I'm just intrigued. We're going in as underdogs. I wouldn't say there's mad pressure on us either because of the Champions League result. We're in the quarterfinal. Hopefully, touch wood, we do well there and we get to the semi. So I don't think there's pressure to beat City, but at the same time, we want to win the trophy. That's, as SAEED always says, it's about trophies at the end of the day. I want to win the FA Cup, especially after we lost to man last year, Turkish. So it's you know, I want to win the game, but I understand that we're both did. City are incredible, so you have to pay homage to them.
I think it'd be a good. I asked if, you know, obviously you're not going to be ideally happy with City, but it's a good opportunity for Tuchel to prove his worth. I know in the league there's not, you know, much to play for apart from top four, which is massive in itself. But this is a trophy as well, and I think to see how he sets up against City will be interesting. Yeah,
Sheffield United, I mean, just to recap quickly, the reason why I called it a false image, someone was asking in the chat, is because it wasn't a 2-0 win. You know, if I'm being honest, Sheffield United are unlucky not to get a goal in that game. They had a big chance with McGoldrick. He headed it wide from literally right outside the goal. Really should have scored. They created quite a few other opportunities as well. And we made a lot of rotation changes, so I'm not really going to get onto the team too much. I was hoping it would be a game where we win comfortably, but that's never really how it goes, because again, we haven't scored more than 2 goals under Tuchel as well, which is the final piece of the jigsaw that we need to fix. We need to be more clinical in front of goal. Decision making still not good enough at the moment. And we kept Sheffield United in the game, and that's what happens. We stayed 1-0 up. We didn't get the second until very late on. They kept creating chances, and because of the rotations, there was a little bit of a lack of chemistry in the team. Few players weren't really understanding other players' runs off the ball as well. So it wasn't a very complete performance, but one of them things where you just get the job done and get out kind of thing. Because I think the thing is with Sheffield United is, although people will say they're bottom of the league, like earlier we said, you know, Sheffield United playing Man United. Sheffield United are basically relegated. So that was their season. That was it. And I remember when Portsmouth won the cup and got relegated in the same year as well. So they really came out blocks flying. You know, they really, first half you could tell they were pressing, they wanted it. So it was their season, that game. So that's why I can understand why we didn't really just sweep past them. So on to the next, really.
And Boogeyman asked earlier, I think it's too soon, but can you see a title for Tuchel in the next couple of years?
I think if he gets the signings right, and also he needs to improve on the players that we already purchased. We need to bring in Erling Haaland. I've said it before in this show. If Erling Haaland goes to Man City, don't talk to me about the title again, because it's not happening. Liverpool, I think you mentioned Klopp. I'm not as worried about Liverpool because I think there's a bit of a rebuild to do there. I think FSG need to step up and finance that club and really put the money in, because we've spoken about it before in terms of rebuilds. That's usually money that's come out of a player sale. They don't really have big, massive marquee sales to make in that squad. especially under a new pandemic where, you know, clubs are not splashing the money. So they're going to have to invest FSG. So I'm not as worried about Liverpool, despite Klopp. But Man City, if they get Erling Haaland, then I don't expect us to win the league next year, if I'm being completely honest. I want us to challenge 100%, but I'm not stupid. It's Erling Haaland and it's Man City. Do you know what I mean? If they get him, then they're title favourites again. So for me, we just need to keep ticking along, keep improving. I like the way that we press. I like the way that we counter press, that we build up from the back. You know, structurally, we're brilliant. Defensively, we don't concede goals. We just need to finish the final third, bring in some key players, and then maybe we can challenge. So I think he can win it. It just depends on a few little factors here and there.
And Steve, since we're on Haaland as well, yeah, obviously earlier today, a rumor broke. I guess it's a rumor on Sky Sports about Danny Ings. And let me talk first, because I'm not that against that sort of a transfer. I think Danny Ings is a good striker. He's got a year left. If you get him for the right price, he can be a good rotation option next season or the season after that. I think that's a good signing.
He's a good player. The people I've spoke to there just laughed it off, but you never know, like you say, as a rotation option. But with the kind of season he's been having at Southampton, would you want to go somewhere and be a rotation option? Because he's done that before and he's enjoying his football at Southampton. So for me, I think he'll just stay there, or maybe someone like Everton, someone up the next rung of the ladder from Southampton might go for him. But if Manchester City let Aguero go and sign Danny Ings, I think there'd be a riot. So I'm not expecting Danny Ings to turn up at the Etihad anytime soon.
But like you said about the way City conduct their transfer business, you don't get priced out. You turn down a deal if it's not for you. Obviously, Haaland's being rumored for 100 million plus. It does sound realistic that you'd pull out of such a deal.
No, me and Toby talk about this a lot with City and the academy, and it's over £300 million been raised in that academy in the last 5 years. And recently, I just watched something on the City channel about the scouting network, and they're showing you when they signed Gabriel Jesus. They were scouting the guy from 14-year-old. They had his school reports and everything. So look at the Diaz signing. The smokescreen signing was Koulibaly, and then bang, Diaz signs. So I expect the same in the summer. Don't be fooled by it. I mean, Man City, if there's a player of Haaland's caliber and we're losing Aguero, you've got to understand that we're going to be in for it. There's no way that they're letting Sergio Aguero leave that club without getting someone who's got the potential to match the goal-scoring feats of Aguero. And Haaland ticks the boxes. Mbappe ticks the boxes. So yeah, there's plenty of money there, mate. There's plenty of money there.
Fair enough. Yanis, you're my guy, man. I appreciate the support as always, but I don't know. It's a Monday. I hope you're, furlough or something, Kai. It sounds like you're a bit waved. Arsenal will win the league next season, 100%. No ifs, buts, or maybes. Listen, that ain't me. That's Yanis, people. So don't try and click me up on that and get me out there. Tobes, you want to touch on Tottenham a bit since it's been a bit of a roller coaster week? Jose in?
Yeah. No, it's weird. 2-0 win, good end to, like you said, a shocking week. And I looked at the table like after we won, and I think it's pretty mad that we've only won 7 games in 2021, and we're 3 points off top 4. I think that's insane.
What does that say about the league, innit? Again,
I think that's absolutely insane. But hey ho, it's where we are. I can't complain at a win. I'm happy we won. I'm happy we got a clean sheet. I'm happy Kane back on the score sheet. And I'm happy Vinicius got his first goal. And I'm even more happy that Tanganga's back into the team now. He's someone that we need to start prioritizing in this squad. So, yeah, we'll take that, man. Yeah.
And I think that's about it for the teams. Liverpool, did you play this weekend, Grizz? Nah.
No, just like me, we're chilling, bro.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we had our West Ham game, innit? But
can I? I'm your resident Arsenal fan because I feel that because you don't really back Arsenal when you're on the show when you're hosting.
On this one, see me last week with Tobes. What more do you want? That was my one time.
I need to speak to Tobes, who texted me at halftime when it was 3-0 or something. Yeah. In our WhatsApp saying ha Arteta in, yeah, man, you know what I mean? I don't know why you don't learn.
I said every week, come defend your club. You're
a new lesson every week, right? I thought Arteta, look, barring that 30 minutes which they were shambolic, and I said so, right? And he has to I'm going to blame Arteta here because that was on Arteta. That selection, them tactics, that was pure trying to be Pep. And you can tell he's a Pep student where he tried to be clever and different. He's been playing so well with the players. Let them go. Let the same squad let go. Why are you rotating so much like you're a Man City or a Chelsea or something, and you're in 5-6 competitions? He needs to keep a consistent team 11. And just when you think, yeah, he might, he goes and changes it again. Oba on the right this time, something different. I don't know. Turkish, has Oba played much on the right this season? It's mad.
Not really,
right?
no.
Do you know what I mean? How good has Saka been on there? And Saka switched to the left. So, and then what happened in that first half, because that was like it was amateurish stuff.
Yeah, first 30 minutes, bro.
No, first fight, it was amateurish, pure amateurish. Like who turns their back on the ball on a free kick like that, at that level? Do you know what I mean? But from 35 minutes onwards, I thought Arsenal were joy to watch. Because David Moyes has got West Ham working hard. They gave City a good game. They've given United a good game. They've given more teams a good game. But Arsenal went to their ground, and I've said this before, guys. I've said this before. Arsenal teams of the past would have lost that 4-5 easy after that start. But this guy's got something in there. He's instilled something in. Steve, he has, man. You can see it.
It shows the players were fighting for him, because at that moment they can put their heads down and 100%. Then lose the London derby.
100%.
I disagree with that statement that they would have gone on to lose 4-5-0, not to West Ham. Wasn't Emery the king of comebacks at Arsenal? How many times did he fuck up in the first half and then second half?
Not 3 down ever.
Yeah, but coming back 2-0. Aston Villa last season, 2-0 down at home, turned it down 3-2.
Yeah,
me personally, I agree they were excellent in the second half, and I felt like there were chances of plenty. But I'm not looking at this game thinking, "Oh, this is quality from Arteta." I'm looking at this game thinking Arsenal should have had enough to go there and get 3 points against a resilient West Ham side, and they didn't.
Yeah,
wow, that's harsh.
Let's just say
it's harsh, man.
That's harsh.
I don't think it's harsh.
No one's who's going to bully West Ham this season?
West Ham caught and cold, man. They caught and cold.
Bro, Grizz. I'm not saying that Arsenal have a divine right to beat West Ham. I'm saying, I'm saying when you look at how Arsenal played after he got things right, you only have to question, why didn't you just
why did he get the things wrong?
I've criticized that. I've said that bit. But all great managers have that, where they lose it for 35 minutes.
Yeah, but that's
the way
they
come back.
I'm trying to make though. Great comeback. But for me, I'm looking. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're looking at this as a glass half empty instead of half full, because you're saying to yourself, this is a game that when you look at how we've played, we could have easily won. We could have won. And West Ham
a good team, man. West Ham a good team.
I don't know where suddenly where this confidence for Arsenal is coming from, and this superiority complex, like they should be going to West Ham and beating them.
I didn't say that.
After
Did I
just say that? I literally.
But it seems to be like
No. I literally just said, Grizz. I just said word for word, Arsenal don't have a divine right to go to West Ham and win. But when you look at the way they played after he made the changes, it only makes you question why he didn't just go with those changes from the off. That's all I said.
Nobody
allow
here,
it. Don't mince my words, please.
Nobody here can justify it. Nobody here can justify why Aubameyang was on the right-hand side. Nobody. I don't think he said.
But I think what Grizz was saying though, you can make a mistake, but coming back from that, you got to give credit to Arteta there though.
You give credit, but I'm just saying.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing I brought up. Arteta, Oba on the right was a madness.
I didn't get it at all. I really didn't get it.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, I'm not having Arteta.
And Tommy don't want no shine on Arsenal, but you don't want no shine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not having Arteta. I'm here to rep Arsenal as my second team because Liverpool ain't playing for 3 weeks, so I'm the Arsenal rep in the house for 3 weeks.
But to be honest with you, listen, I can't lie to you. You're right. The first 30 minutes, we can't forget that just because we made a comeback.
Shambles. It was shambles.
We can't forget that first 30 minutes.
Can I just add before we wrap up? I think it's funny. Because if Grizz is repping Liverpool and Arsenal, for me, that just goes to show where Arsenal are. That you can rep 2 top teams, and it's okay. If Arsenal were a threat to Grizz and he really believed in Arteta, would he rep Arsenal like that?
No, man, I'm a football man. I'm a football man.
I'm just saying,
I'm a football man.
Grizz.
He's trying to start. He's trying to start a war. Let me have one war at a time, my guy. Listen, we're coming from the bottom of the big six. We'll slowly make our way up. I'm telling you, winter's
Just saying,
coming.
if you were title challengers, Grizz wouldn't be repping you like this.
Nah, man.
Well, I know this, and certain sentences Grizz even said today about Chelsea, City, Liverpool. I was waiting for Arsenal to be said, but it still hasn't
I think
come.
another point I was going to make as well, Odegaard. I think he was excellent yesterday, and
Yeah,
I want him. You know what? Yeah, let him keep playing as well as he is, because it's going to be sweeter when
Other
he
teams
leaves,
when clubbing or something.
when
Yeah.
he leaves you lot, and goes back to his parent club and either balls out there or goes to a better club. It's going to be sweet.
it's better off saying Arsenal.
Let them salty Arsenal fans in the comments start rattling their cages because of what I just said. I don't care.
No, I think they'll be all right because seeing Kane leave Tottenham will be even sweeter than that. So
I'm resigned to that, bro. I'm resigned to that.
Whether you're resigned to it or not, it's still gonna taste as sweet as it sounds, mate. It's still
When it happens, you're gonna
bro.
cry. Trust
Cool,
us, you're
bro.
gonna cry.
Trust me, like I said, winter is still coming. It's still autumn over there, man. 3 points off top 4. You're far from winter right now. It's still a couple months away. But we'll see how that goes. Listen, people, we're gonna wrap it up shortly. Let me just bring in the prediction table. And I know he's been sad most show tonight. He's not been his usual self. Like you haven't got the energy you used to from him. But let's hope this sees him into the international break a happy man.
Come on, man. We out here, man. We out here. You get me?
Wait, you know what we talked about earlier about the table being false?
This is Man United and Boogie Man's Audi Cup.
This is a false position, bro.
Trust me, but we take something, man. We take some solace in it. In bad situation. You know what I mean?
Bro, but that's a race, you know. That's a proper race, man. You mans. If you want any tips, DM me, innit?
DM me, mate. You got a 40-point mark, though. You know what I mean?
Hey,
no relegation, though.
No relegation.
I'm ready to advise you, look, boy. That's a serious race.
Nice.
Big
you
Steve,
know,
take us lead, yeah, man.
Far ahead at the beginning with that Liverpool Burnley.
Matisse is working. Matisse is working, but I think it's the three.
I've fallen off a bit. I thought I was in the race. I'm not sure now.
Tottenham bottled it again, innit? Tottenham bottled it again.
You're talking, Saeed. You're talking after you're crying about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Tottenham bottled it again, man.
All right, cool. You're happy now, yeah? Cool.
Tottenham bottled it again.
All right, cool.
So that's it, people. Let me just take this off the screen quickly. Oh, my bad. My bad.
You know, Turkish, yeah, you're knife, you know. I love it, man. I also are shameless, but we move.
Listen, people. Love for the support as always. Still 2,300 of you here. Make sure you subscribe to everyone's channel in the description box below. As always, get them up. I know Matisse recently hit 11K. Congrats to him. I know Saeed's on the road to 30. Saeed.
Yeah. No, nearly at 30, man. You know what I'm saying? Big up everybody subscribing and whatnot. But yeah, man, we'll be back, man. We'll be back.
Come on,
We'll be back, man.
Steve's on the road to 1,000, so get him up to that. TOBS onto a 5K.
Nah, I'm nearly at 3K.
Oh wait, man. The next target's 5K. Forget 3K, man.
Cool.
And LFC Day Trippers, what's your next big target?
Yeah, 10K, man. We're so close, man. We need to get to that 10K. So big up everyone in the chat. Come and abuse me there, man. Come on.
Come on.
For people in the chat as well, I feel like because international break, there's not really much content on my channel. So I'm going to be on other people's channel tomorrow. So if anyone wants to watch me, I'm on KG's channel tomorrow, KG POV. So come watch there. We're going to talk Spurs and Leeds and just general football. So yeah. Come check
Say no more, Tom. Say no more. Tomorrow, what time?
I think it's like 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock or 6:30. Yeah.
Cool. You heard that here, people. And we got one more comment in at the buzzer, and I think it deserves to be read out, Car. You know, can't wait for Harry Kane to put that City shirt on in the summer. There's another one added to the City list. Haaland, Kane,
You know what time it is, don't you, son?
Yeah, I do.
People,
you know what, man? Tell me. You got Mourinho's manager, bloody hell, mate. This guy got Mourinho's manager.
So you gotta learn it. Say shameless. Besharma.
Oh yeah, as well. We will be back this Friday, people. Just in case you thought we won't be back, we'll be back this Friday. We'll bring something a bit different, maybe a quiz night or something like that. So make sure you're back Friday 10 p.m. on this channel for Big Six, and obviously subscribe to the official channel itself. We'll be back Friday. Take care, people. Love and peace.